Oh, no, no, no. Fuck you.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Roads here, Suck, and I'm going to do everybody a favor. Tutorial first, life story later. I want to change out one light bulb in this thing and the light bulbs in the clock, because the light bulbs in the clock went out, alright? Yeah, no, okay, with this lighting you guys aren't going to be able to see anything, but I hope you guys can believe me that this clock doesn't illuminate and one of these light bulbs is out. Any case, first we have to start off with prying off this center bezel, or fascia if you want to call it. And the best or easiest way to do this is to grab a flathead screwdriver that you could use just about any prying tool. And you have to be careful not to damage any of these parts. I don't know if you can see this, but this is kind of squishy. It's not like a hard plastic, it's like a synthetic rubber or leather skin or something. So being careful not to scrape with the screwdriver on that thing. What you got to do is you got to get in there and you have to pop off the heated seats slash ashtray compartment here. Just kind of move that out of the way. Takes a little bit of finessing, but that's kind of out of the way. And then you just kind of grab your screwdriver or prying tool and you just kind of work your way around the center bezel here. Doing so gently, of course. So just try not to force anything, just work your way around this whole thing, gently prying as you need to. Pry, pry, pry. Ta-da, and it's off, right? Now, I'm going to take this camera and I'm going to put it up there so that you guys can get a better view. As far as camera angle goes, this is a very weird setup, but it's hard for me to see what the camera sees, but I'm going to try my best here. I hope you guys will be able to see that, but this is the back of the clock, right? Ordinarily, I'd recommend that you remove the cables connecting to the car battery before proceeding, but this isn't like mission critical stuff, so I don't really care too much. But you just kind of, it's hard to see from here, from where I'm sitting, so you kind of have to feel for it. But there's like a little push connector here. You go from the underside and you just sort of push down on it and pull it out like so. There should be, I believe, one or two more, possibly just one more down here somewhere. Where is it? Ah, there we go. And then there's going to be about two more cables down here where the temperature control unit is. But these are really easy to take off in comparison to the clock one. There's one. There's two. And the center fascia slash bezel thing comes off. So to recap, you undo this connector and this connector for the clock, and then you undo this connector and this connector for the temperature control unit, and you end up with the center fascia bezel thing taken off. And be careful not to flex it too much, because this is a plasticky part, but let's go ahead and take this inside so we can work on it. Okay, so replacing the clock lights is probably going to be the easiest thing. Let me just show you that the clock is here, and it's basically this white box. these two things are the light bulbs. I have a set that I pulled from a car in a junkyard. That car actually had something to do with the Department of Defense, judging by the crap on the windshield, but Department of Defense light bulbs are going to be replacing these light bulbs. Since I got these from the junkyard, I don't know what part number they are and all that stuff, but you could see that this is just a light bulb. Come on, camera focus. A light bulb on like a black stand or backing or something. But the switching of these is very, very easy. You just get your thin flathead screwdriver and you just basically stick it in here somewhere or here, wherever you want. You might need to use an even smaller screwdriver. Okay, even smaller screwdriver now. And let's go ahead and stick that in there. Give it a turn. It only turns once like that and once like that. Now the tricky part, in my opinion, is going to be getting these light bulbs out. They're in there pretty well. I recommend that you do not lift this thing and start hitting the clock to try to knock the light bulbs out, simply because, you know, something might come loose or whatever like that. So just try your best to just kind of get these bulbs out of there without causing a lot of damage, right? Okay, that's one removed. There we go. So these would be the two old ones that we just pulled out. Okay. Something here. And these would be the two newer ones that I got from the junkyard. Let's see. So I don't know if you're able to see, but they have like a little bit of an indentation over here, which corresponds to the holes here. So if I just take this one and drop it in like this, and then take this one and drop it in like this, and then grab the screwdriver and just push them in. It might have to be spun up. There we go. One is in there. Two is in there. Okay, good. And then you just, okay, this is loose. So, oops. If that is loose, then this is closed. I probably shouldn't be making them this tight, but I just want to be sure. So that would be that. They're both in there now. And that would be how you would replace the light bulbs for the clock. I'm going to keep these, not for the light bulbs, but I'm going to salvage the blue cover that goes over the light bulb, and I'm going to try to salvage the base. But that's going to happen off camera. But I'm not throwing these away. Replace the light bulbs in the clock. Now, there are a few things in life that are easier to put back together than they are to take apart. And fortunately, this is one of them. Observe. Just kind of tuck this in there. And you just take this pluggy thing. There you go. This pluggy thing. Come on. This has to be done by feel, sort of. I apologize for the wonderful view of my armpit that you guys are probably getting. That appears to be in. Good. Now, sometimes it's actually easier to do this from the passenger side, because this way you don't have the steering wheel in your face. But I've done this enough that I don't really care. Let's see, this goes, where does this go? This goes down here. This goes here. Okay, verify that all the connectors are in fact connected. They are. Now you just take this, watch the AC vents, make sure they just kind of slide nicely into place. fun part. Squeeze around a little bit, make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. Why did I do that? I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm surprised that's even live, but that's in there. Ashtray / cigarette lighter / seat warmers are back in there. Again, go around, verify everything is in place as it needs to be. Do this. Now I'm just going to take the car keys. I'm going to start the vehicle. And this is just going to be to verify. Let me hide this because it's going to be bugging me all day now. Let me just see if the clock advances the minute hand when it should. Okay, the minute hand moved, so the clock is alive. Now I just have to set the time. Let me check what time it is real quick. 55, so let's get to work here. That's 5:30, 45, 50, 55. The clock is set. Now I'm just gonna wait till it gets a little bit darker to see how well the lights work. Okay, so as promised, backstory after the tutorial. Now, I went to the junkyard again, and I basically ended up getting a couple of interesting things, such as some impact foam for the front bumper. It goes under the bumper cover. I got a new steering wheel cover, because this emblem here, you're not going to be able to see it with this lighting. This emblem here has a crack in it. Probably from driving around in New York and hitting the fuck you button so hard. And I got some light bulbs for the clock. It was like the car that I pulled some of these parts from was had some sort of Department of Defense stickers on the windshield, so now I look at the clock and I see the time, and I just giggle to myself. And I'm Kent Mansley, I work for the government. Is there a telephone I could use, right? But any case, clock lights. I'm under the impression, I mean, depending on how I look at it, it either looks like half of the clock is lit and half isn't. But I don't know, it's like it's fine, but it's not fine. In any case, I'm going to have to go to the junkyard another time anyway, because I couldn't get all the parts that I wanted. So for example, for me to replace the bumper foam, it makes sense to replace my 2 dented fenders as well, since the front bumper is coming off. So either way, I'm going to the junkyard again, and when I do, I might as well score another one of these light bulbs. It's not a big problem. The tutorial here still stands true. This is how you change the lights in the clock. Another point that I wanted to make is that I will probably make a video, or like 3 separate videos out of this. And video 1 will be how to take off the center bezel. Video 2 will be how to take off the how to change the lights in the clock, and then I'll probably show how to take off the bezel in there as well. And then video 3 will be how to change the light bulbs in the temperature control module, and that will probably also include the step-by-step process of getting it off and all that stuff. I'm not trying to annoy my subscribers, but if I make little how-to videos for each thing, I suppose the people that really want the information that they need will be able to find these videos much more easier, because it makes more sense, I think, to show how to change the clock light bulbs and then how to change these light bulbs in a different video, rather than have people looking around and all of that stuff, if that makes sense at all. But quick backstory there. I went to the junkyard, got some stuff, slapped some stuff in, some other stuff I'm going to slap in at a later point, but that would be that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please slam that subscribe button for me, and see you around.